Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. We're on the we're on a new bike. Not my own bike, it's a test ride or it's for the video, first impressions ride. It's the Pan America ST. So I think I'm one of the first that is riding this bike. And now we're working together with a new partner with Bas from West Coast in Alkmaar. I think one of the most famous dealers, Harley dealers in the Netherlands. And Bas has a very special connection to this bike. So I will talk about that later, but now we're doing a first impressions on the Pan America ST. And this is a pretty special bike because this is the first real, I think, sport bike from Harley-Davidson. So 150 brake horsepower, liquid cooled, V-twin engine, and interesting bike. So I'm together with my mate Saranju. He's going to help me with this video today. We're going to do a first impressions, we're going to do the full review, and of course we're going to do a comparison with the bike that this bike came from. But I will tell you about that more later. So this bike, 17-inch wheels, so a really road focused bike. Rides really interesting. So a little bit of history. This bike is of course first marketed the Pan America itself as a BMW killer, and I think it's fairly successful. Could be better of course, but yeah. It is really KTM like in terms of the engine. So where was I? So it's green. In this first impression we're going to talk about just how the bike feels, how it handles, what the engine is like. And I'm not going to talk about specs extensively, that's there we have the full review for. We're just going to talk about, okay, what does this bike give me in terms of feeling. And I can say right now that it feels okay. It feels really good. Of course, it's not the cheapest bike. It is not overly expensive as well. It's no 30,000 euros. It's around 23. But yeah, really interesting bike. So, first impressions on the comfort. I think the seat is a little bit too low for me. I'm around 1.86 meters or 6'1", 6/6'2". Not the biggest guy in the world, but quite average sized. And yeah, it's a little bit too small for me right now. But it's okay. I think with a higher seat or just a normal Pan America seat, it sits just fine. It does handle like, oh, it handles really, really well with those 17-inch wheels. It feels really good. Those feels so absolutely awesome. Yeah, really nice. I do think the reach is a little bit on the long side, so I need to stretch my arms. But so if you have a little bit shorter arms, could be a problem. We've talked about comfort. I think the comfort is okay, just really good. I think you can travel the world with this bike. I would prefer a little bit of a higher seat. The engine, yeah, it's really good. And I did a test ride about, I think 4 or 5 years ago when the Pan America just came out, and I thought that the engine sounded a little bit, yeah, mechanical. And this, of course, with this standard exhaust, it's still a little bit mechanical, but it is much better than I remember. And if you put a Jekyll and Hyde exhaust, for example, on it, I think it will be much better. So yeah, the engine is good. I think rideability, yeah, absolutely perfect. I think this is the first real sport bike of Harley-Davidson. There's no question about that. Oh wait, it's just, yeah, yeah, it's really good. It is a real sport bike. So they wanted to create the Bronx, and I think this bike has a little bit of some parts of Bronx, but this is, I think, the closest that we are getting to the Harley-Davidson Bronx. So the closest that we are getting to a real Harley-Davidson sport bike, and I think this bike will be a great success. If you are a Harley rider, or if you're not, but you're looking just for a fun, fast American sport bike, I think this is the bike to go. Of course, you have the Indian FTR, but I think they are quitting with that. But this bike is a little bit bigger. The FTR is a little bit smaller, so if you're more than average size, if you're more than average size, I think this is a better option. It has 150 brake horsepower, which is a lot. And it rides really, really well. Let's do a walk around the bike, and let's give my first impressions about the looks. And then afterwards we'll do the final conclusions. But first I want to use this moment to thank you, the watcher, the viewer, for watching my videos. If you're not subscribed yet, please do, because I'm making a lot of videos like this and also more extensive reviews. And I also want to thank West Coast Motors for giving me this opportunity to test this bike out as one of the first European YouTubers. So yeah, quite exciting to be part of that family. And yeah, if you are interested in the Pan America or another Harley-Davidson, I can really highly recommend West Coast Motors in the Netherlands, if you're of course in the Netherlands. And otherwise, if you're on a holiday in Amsterdam, for example, take the bus, take the train, take the car, go to Alkmaar, go to West Coast, and give them a visit and say hi. So yeah, let's go to the place to do a little walk around, and then we'll do our conclusions, and we're going to work on the full video. So let's do a little walk around the Pan America ST. We have a normal Pan America here on the side. You can see it's a little bit bigger. There's a nice Jekyll and Hyde exhaust, Pan America S in this case. And this is of course the ST that we're riding today. And it's a really interesting bike. Look at it. So they blacked out the whole engine, which I really like. Just looks awesome. They blacked out multiple parts, also the frame. I really like the fact that you don't have covers over the frame. You can see that the seat is much lower than the original, and that's why I said, okay, if you can put the other seat on this bike, so that will probably feel a little bit better. And of course the exhaust is massive, but you can change that for something else. I really like the whole ST vibe, and I like the fact that the emblem is under the coating, under the paint. Just looks cool. So this bike doesn't have the headlight at the top, so the adaptive light here, just empty. Does have a small, the crash bar, with the turn signals integrated or on it. The headlight, yeah, it's just, yeah, you hate it or you love it. I personally love it. I like it. I like the design. It's not, it just has its own distinctive design. Of course, for an off-road bike, it was still a little bit weird that you have the alternator at the bottom. And in this case, you have it, but now it's a road bike, so yeah, doesn't really matter. It has really nice Michelin tires on it. Not sure if it's standard, but I think so. Scorchers, yeah, that's standard. Those are probably also sort of Harley branded tires, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Harley branded. So special made for this bike. So really high quality tires. And yeah, passenger seat just fine. Grab handles. It's a little bit bulky, so it could be a little bit slimmer. Also, the turn signals could be a little bit smaller, but yeah, the thing is with Harleys and most other bikes, you want to customize them. So yeah, of course we have the TFT dash, as we know, the menus and mode buttons and that kind of stuff. This hasn't been changed. Nice Brembo brakes. What is interesting is that it's a cable clutch. Not sure if the normal Pan has that as well. Yeah, it has it as well. I think that's normal now for Harley-Davidsons, but yeah, there are other bikes that do have them. But yeah, I think the clutch feel is really nice. Bar and weights at the end. Yeah, looks really good. Little small sport windshield, non-adjustable. And you do have the adjustable windshield on the normal Pan America, but yeah, it just looks a little bit sleeker. And the thing is, if you have a good windshield adapted to your height, you don't need to adjust it all the time, especially on the road. So yeah, let's do a little ride and do the final conclusions. So conclusions of the first impressions. I think this is a really interesting bike. So I'm looking forward to riding this bike the whole day and testing it out. It's a Jekyll and Hyde. It's a really good bike. The wind protection could be a little bit better, but yeah, it's a sporty bike. The engine is lovely. I really like it. I like it way more than 4 years ago. I'm not sure why. The suspension is good. Handling, yeah, this is the best handling bike that Harley has ever made, and it would even give a lot of European brands a run for the money. It's just really good. So yeah, I would highly recommend to check this bike out. If you think this video is a little bit interesting for you and you want to see a lot more, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That will really help me in the algorithm. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. So conclusions of the first impressions. I think this is a really interesting bike. So I'm looking forward to riding this bike the whole day and testing it out. It's a Jekyll and Hyde. It's a really good bike. The wind protection could be a little bit better, but yeah, it's a sporty bike. The engine is lovely. I really like it. I like it way more than 4 years ago. I'm not sure why. The suspension is good. Handling, yeah, this is the best handling bike that Harley has ever made, and it would even give a lot of European brands a run for the money. It's just really good. So yeah, I would highly recommend to check this bike out. If you think this video is a little bit interesting for you and you want to see a lot more, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That will really help me in the algorithm. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. If you want to see my newest video, tap here. If you want to see my recommended video for you, tap here. And if you want to subscribe, tap here. Thanks for watching. Tap here, or tap here.